لقد كان لكم فيهم أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر ومن يتول فإن الله هو الغني الحميد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم سيدنا محمد مصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما أجمعين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to meet Ramadan. The period of Ramadan is ticking, the days are running fast. As it is moving, we beseech Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us good deeds, purify our intentions, and make our household one of those households that will receive the blessings of Ramadan. Today we shall be looking at child upbringing during Ramadan. Ramadan is a period that our children should not be left out. And of course, that applies to every act of ibadah. As parents, upbringing includes nurturing, training, guiding, educating, discipline, protecting, and all that has to do with our children. And we should remember that the Prophet ﷺ, in one of his hadiths, told us, "Kulukun ro'in," we are all shepherd, and we shall be accountable for the flocks under us. The ruler is a shepherd over his followers, he will be accountable for them. The father is a shepherd over the entire household, and his children, he shall be accountable for them. The mother is the shepherd over the household of her husband and her children. Specifically, that is a duty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to us as women. Although this does not absolve our men of their duties to the entire family. So therefore, in the month of Ramadan, we have before Ramadan, during Ramadan, after Ramadan, we have responsibility to our children, bringing them up in a sound way. This starts with forming a very good family, a good and righteous family, righteous man, righteous woman, marrying each other. Don't forget, Prophet ﷺ told us that the man should be aware of where he drops his sperm. So we should pray enormously even before we have children. And this is the act of the righteous and, of course, messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rabbana hablana min azwajina wa zurriyatina qurrata a'yun. Oh Allah, bestowed on me a good wife and good offspring that will be apples of my eyes, that will give me peace of mind. This was not before the prophet of Ibrahim alayhi salam starts having children or starts marrying. Rabbi habli min as-solihin. This should be part of our regular prayers. Then when we give birth to children, we should perform the basic rituals, the technique, the akiko, and the shaving the hair and paying sadaqah on this hair that we have shaved on the 7th day. We should endeavor to give them good food. Mothers these days, we are Indomies and spaghetti mothers. Please and please, enough of children coming up with very bad diseases that we see in those days in old people. It's becoming an eyesore. Let us give our children good and balanced diet, good and natural food, and move away from synthetic food. So we should help these children. We should prepare them. We should let them to practice and prepare them to practice the deen. So we should expose this child to the foundation of faith early enough, as early as possible. The early years matters a lot. And most unfortunately, we ignore these early years most of the time. We start with things like Tahara. We encourage them to look into the pillars of faith. We shouldn't discourage them. They are wasting too much water when they are performing ablution. Their clothes will get wet or whatever. All those are just by the way. They are things they will overcome with time. So we should tell them stories of the prophets, stories of the companions and the tabi'ins. We should entrench good morals in them. We should monitor their educations. Morality is on the types of decline. We should please not make our children part of the disasters of the moment. When we should form circles of, for these children, circles of interaction, circles of micro-communities in our mosques and in our various organizations. This will at least allow these children to interact with good companies and will be able to regulate what they do. Then we should make special times available to them and let them celebrate. Create awareness about them. Friday, this month of Ramadan as it is, the period of Hajj, the Eid al-Adha, the lessons surrounding them. So and their significances.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون.
So when do they start practicing or ibadah? First and foremost, we should let our children understand the concept of ibadah from the moment they can identify their right hands from their left. So we should encourage them. Let them start before they become mukallaf. The Prophet told us in hadith that instruct your children to pray at 7 and beat them at 10 if they don't. So if you are to instruct a child at 7, definitely such a child should have started practicing those things. When you say child go and pray at the age of 7, it means he or she knows all the rudiments of salat, starting from tahara, purification, cleaning oneself after urination or defecation, or performing the ablution rightly, and all the conditions that make salat valid. So it means we are not starting at 7. So dear mothers, let us take charge, take very good conscious time of the early ages where we entrench all these things. So as mukallaf, they have records and they are accountable. Who are mukallafs? They are matured. The age of maturity in Islam is not 18. It is the age in which you become a mukallaf. Some of the features of becoming a mukallaf for a girl is menstruation. Some girls start as 9. Some boys start seeing wet dreams and some other things at the age of 12, 13. So it means that such ages, those children should have known the basic things of what they need to do as ibadah. So, and of course, these 8 stages of their life are getting faster by the day. So let us look out for these features as parents. And of course, we will have counseled them ahead of what they need to see before that will let them realize that this is the stage in which I am in life, for them to seek your guidance. So it means that as parents, as mothers, we need to know that we are the role model of our children. We are the first school our children will attend, and the best school, of course. Whatever will entrench is what a child will go take to a formal school. And of course, let's be frank with ourselves. The formal school today teaches nothing of morals, nothing of religiosity, even including the so-called Muslim schools. It means we are indeed the foundation. If we don't have the foundation, there's nothing such schools that are even trying to build anything our children will be able to build. So it then means that we need to take our responsibility very, very seriously. The children will be watching us. We cannot say do as I say, but the slogan has to be do as I do. So we need to show the example in this particular circumstance, the right example, to let our children know that these things are practicable. And of course, we need to tell them the benefits, the rewards that accrue into it. We need to tell them how these things relate with the comprehensiveness of life. And then we need to be ready to answer their questions. Many times we find it difficult to answer our children's questions. There's no question a particular child asks and that cannot be answered, depending on the age of that particular child, depending on the level of intelligence, and children are becoming more and more smarter by the day. So we need to up our game as parents. We need to read. We need to expose ourselves. We need to gain knowledge. We need to meet the circle of those that are experienced. We don't need to hide what we don't know. We don't need to hide features that we're seeing in our children that we don't understand. So we need to up our own game too as parents. And we need to be up and doing. And for us to do these things successfully, we need to be spiritually upright. Mind the do's and don'ts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to be prayerful. We should avoid cursing our children. A righteous mother don't curse his or her children. And we should avoid putting on features that we don't want our children to emulate from us. We need to expose them to good role models. The good role models are declining. They are not being promoted in the community. Internationally, locally, people are promoting celebrities, they are promoting actors and actresses, singers, footballers, even if they don't have any virtue to offer. So we need to allow our children to read, encourage them to read. But we as mothers, if we don't read, they will not be able to read as well. We are the ones that will indicate it. And in fact, psychology made us to understand the fact that even as mothers, when you are pregnant, your child is imbibing certain things that you are doing. If you are the moody mother, the types that cry all the time, you born a cry baby, whether you like it or not. That will equally be moody, even as he or she is born and is grown up. So we need to expose our children to good role models and be prayerful as parents. We need to take them out to circles of knowledge of Islam, to interact with other Muslim children as well, to gain knowledge. And our mosque needs to accommodate our children. Don't let us say they are making noise, they are shouting, they are doing this and that. At least parents take children to the haram. So we need to let them see the beauty of Islam, show them this beauty practically, and it will encourage them to be say, well, I'm a Muslim. We need to boost their self-esteem as Muslims. A lot of Muslim children today have low self-esteem. They don't have good self-worth. They feel inferior to others because they don't know their history, they don't know who they are, they don't know what they're supposed to be, they don't know their goal in life. So we need to set goal for our children. Even before this Ramadan comes up, what do you want to achieve? We can create competition between us and them, between them and their siblings. How many Quran do you want to read? Have you done Askar today? Get them a chart and have a reward system. Not only with material things, but then rewarding with dua, rewarding with hugs, rewarding by saying complimentary things. Give them pen names that they will live up to. And you are a sheikh, you are a mujahida, you are this and that. That will encourage them to do good deeds, that will entrench these things in them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our children righteous kids for us, preserve them for us, protect them from all the evils of this time. We need to be conscious of the kind of books our children read, or the ones they bring home from school. Vet what they do in school, so that you know that wrong messages that is contrary to your own ideology as a Muslim is not being passed to your child unconsciously or unknowingly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect our children, make them have Salihin for us, Qurratul Ain for us, make them good representations of the Muslim community, make them those that work within the Ummah and bring greatness to the community of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم